Well, there's no sun. Welcome back to the farm. I'm your host, Brandon Baker, and I'm here with my friend Eric Gannon today. And we are going to try to graft some fruit trees again. We have a history of doing this together. This will be our second year. We did it at Eric's farm last year, and I'm not going to speak for him, but I'm a novice. I've got about maybe a 80% failure rate when we graft, but they work sometime, and it's a lot of fun, and we're practicing. So come hang out with us today while we graft some fruit trees. These are Bud 9 rootstocks, and basically these are bare root apple trees that I got in the winter of last year, and I put them in sawdust. You can go back and look at our videos on that kind of stuff. I think we've got a rootstock bed video, and these are our grafts from last year. Some of them lived, most of them didn't. How many years lived? Did you?
It ended up being like 30%.
30%. Yeah. So there you go. He's a pro and I'm an amateur.
Like 10%.
But okay, and what do you got in the box here, Eric?
All right, so I've got these are our some of my rootstocks I have, and then I have a whole bunch of different scion woods. So these are what we're actually going to graft on. Each one of these is labeled for what type of tree they came from: Canard's Choice Horse, Buckingham, Hughes Crab. We've got a whole bunch of heirloom and historic apple trees there.
Okay, where'd you get them from?
These are all from my farm.
So you just cut them off of the apple trees at your place, and then we'll use those. Okay.
Absolutely.
And the reason that you do that is apples do not grow true to seed. That means if you go to the grocery store and you get a Granny Smith and you take that seed and plant it, it's not going to grow into a Granny Smith. It's going to grow into a whatever it wants to be. So we take these and we'll cut them off and we'll splice them in to this rootstock, and then it will be a true to the variety. So let's do it for a minute. All right, so we're gonna watch Eric for a second.
Here's an example of something. We're gonna graft down here somewhere. So let's just cut this guy off here and do some practice on that.
And when you say practice, what do you mean?
I was gonna do some whip and tongue practice because it's been a bit.
So last year we had some grafting tool, and let me just show it to you. We got these, and you just take it, you put it on, cut it. That's a blade in there, and it makes the perfect shape for it. And I think that's why we had the problems last year that we had. The year prior, I had done some T-bud. Is that what you call it? Oh, where you cut a T in it and you slip the bud in.
Yeah,
and
bud grafting.
Yeah, bud graft. I did some bud grafting, and I did some of these whipping tongues, and I did some of these little hand machines, and you couldn't really tell, or I couldn't tell, or didn't notice rather, which ones took. And I bet you that it was none of the ones with the machine, and it was the bud grafts and the whip and tongue. So we're gonna do the whip and tongue this year.
I'm trying.
And you know why I quit doing the whip and tongue, don't you?
You cut a finger off,
Yeah,
didn't you?
I cut the end of my finger off, so be careful, please.
We need more practice. That curved blade kept breaking the end of it.
It's woody, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. So there's a good if we were doing a what's that, the splitting of the cleft. Is that cleft graft?
Yep.
That'd be good for a cleft, but that's not what we're trying to do.
Well, I can tell you how good I am at this. I think that I'm not making my cuts long and slender enough.
Mm-hmm. I'm finding myself doing the same thing.
You know, it seems like last year we said, yeah, we need to go take a class or something, and we ended up not doing it.
you know, I contacted the ag department. They said, oh, we can run a class for you if you'd like one. We can, you know, if there's enough interest. And then there was one over in Knoxville. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make it to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got over there.
Yeah.
And but the lady at the ag thing, when I was talking about this, she says, oh, if you think there'd be interest, you know, we could put something together. Yeah, it's just for me and Brandon.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember with the clap, you got to do the front and the back.
Right. Okay, I'm watching you on this next one because I was doing clefts on every single one of them. Then.
What were you? Okay.
We're doing the rootstock that's in the bed right here, and we're going through and we're doing cleft grafts on these. And if Eric doesn't care, I'm gonna try to get him to show us a cleft graft.
There's a good whip and tone on this.
Oh, you did a whip and
last two, yeah. They kind of have a good size, and I opted for it. We'll see. Let's do the next one.
Paraffin tape, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so.
Last year we just used regular
Masking tape or something, yeah.
And I don't know if they dried out or what they did, but they didn't do as good. But this stuff seems like it binds well, and the idea is really to just keep the moisture in. And he's putting masking tape on there now for two reasons. Number one, to help support it, and number two, I think you're writing the names on there, aren't you?
Yeah.
See, like on this one, you're using that same piece of tape. Wrote the name on.
Yeah, if you want to write black twig mammoth on that one, then I'll start cutting the next one. Getting set up for it.
You get the cap for that.
Yep. Let's see if we do this way. Let's see what we do. Been doing that. I was doing good until I messed it up that time, but just kind of getting it on there and then kind of rocking it.
And you're doing a cleft on this one?
Yeah, this is my cleft. So there's my, so I got that down there. And you can use smaller pieces when you do a cleft, unless you have a perfect size for that. I'll do it. We got that section there. As long as we line that up with the outside. Well, I can get that in there.
Putting that knife in really helps, doesn't it?
It does. Sometimes. Try not to mangle up the end of it. See, I'm lining up these lines here, the outside bark. Not that I chewed it up too bad. You can see how that's lined up right there, and hopefully on the other side as well. And then I'll just wrap that.
And again, that's just to keep it moist in there and not to let it dry out, because you want it to stay wet and all the energy, as Eric says, flowing through it. And really it's, I guess it's water and everything else and just growth tissue. All right, come back over here with me. We'll do some more over here.
play with the sticks I cut off. My mom comes by in an hour to pick me up. Hey, whatever. I'm warm. That's all that
That's
matters.
right. Yep. Function over form.
Dude, I'm gonna have to take off soon. I got Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts with the boys tonight.
Yeah, don't let me.
Yeah, it's 4:30. I gotta go. What if we do you want to just pick out a bunch of stuff, or do you want to tag a bunch of stuff and
Whatever's easiest, man. Whatever's easiest.
let's just pull out a bunch of stuff that looks good. 'Cause let me kind of get a rough.
Hey, you get what you want, and I'm gonna stay here, and I'll keep grafting them. I mean, obviously I live here, but I'm saying just pick out what you want to be grafted in the ground and leave it here. I'm gonna stay out here till dark and graft.
Okay, yeah.